On SPC2 now, it's a fight to the death between Barber Papa and the new Shmoo to find out which is the best amorphous kind of shape-changing thing. Of course, Barber Papa already killed the old Shmoo in a similar fight, so the new Shmoo has a lot to fight for here. But here on SPC1, someone who might very well say, sit on it, Barber Papa, it's Rich and Ali's Craven Newsround. These are all actually the notes. Hello, welcome to another edition of Rich and Ali's Craven Newsround. I didn't like that, Richard. What, the way that the continuity announcer tried to get in on the joke and do my catchphrase. That's your same phrase, yeah. I hate, no one likes the same phrase. No one likes the continuity announcer thinking he's got funny enough to join in with the same phrase. He's fucking ruined it for me now. Anyway, let's not swear. This is Rich and Ali's Craven Newsround. It's something like the 6th of March 2026. Is it something like that? It's a Friday. Look it up on a calendar if you want to know the fucking date. We're not here to tell you that. All right, let's keep the swearing to a minimum. You started it. This is the children remember. What? Nothing. I didn't say anything. I'm Richard Herring. You may remember me from my appearance on What the Dickens. Yeah, that was good. Thank you. Well, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. You asked a girl out on it. There was a girl who was called Charlotte Bronte or something. And as a joke, she was quite pretty. And as a joke, I had to ask her questions to find out what her name was. And I said, can I have your phone number? And she went, yeah. But, you know, it was a joke. Unfortunately, I was already dating my beautiful wife by then. Fortunately, I was already dating my beautiful wife by then. So it was a joke. But, yeah, you know, good to know I still had it, in 2009? Yeah, I still had it in 2009. Do you still have it now, Richard? I don't know. There might be something around the back, but I don't think I've got much of it, if any of it. Anyway, look, this isn't about my lack of sex life. Oh, God. We've opened a can of worms. I have a very look. It's not about me. This is about the news. There's lots of news to do. Do you want to do your catchphrase? I don't want to do my catchphrases, Richard. Not now that the continuity announcer's done this, ruined it. I'm fleabagging. No, don't do it if you not going to do it. No one likes it when the continuity announcer. Well, I'll ask the continuity announcer not to do it again. You may have seen on the Grown Up News, this is the Ed Gamble is to host a new panel show, Unacceptable. Why does Ed Gamble keep getting this work? Can't just do stuff without your bitterness. This isn't going to be the main bit. But how come Ed Gamble always gets stuff? What about me? Well, look, what about me? The TV is now prejudiced against white men. That is what I've noticed, and that's... So you have to be... Well, he's a white man, isn't he? Well, what's he got that I haven't got? He's very good looking. He's extremely talented at presenting something. You've seen him in The Traitors Uncloaked. He's very, very good in that. He's got a lot more money than you, and he's got the job presenting Unacceptable. So, you know, he's got quite a lot of things. Very handsome. He's thin. Used to be quite chunky, and now he's thin. Apart from that, I tell you what you should do, Rich. If you want to get these jobs, yeah, right, you need to have, an angle. I would say, why don't try, being mentally ill or something, and then people might have to put you on because you're mentally ill. Yeah, but I'm not mentally ill, though, am I? So I can't pretend to be mentally ill. Aren't you, Richard? I'm not. I'm the sanest person. The problem with me is I'm extremely sane. You're very sane, are you? I'm fleabagging. I don't think he is very sane. You're talking to me. Just, it's a shame, isn't it, that Ed Gamble keeps getting stuff. And talking of people who are the worst people on earth, he's very good. Look at how pretty he is. Stop saying he's good at stuff. He's really good at stuff. Is he good at winning Champion of Champions of Taskmaster? No, Richard, he is not good at that. He came last in that. Yeah. So who's the winner now? I bet if Ed Gamble was here now, he would rather be Champion of Champions at Taskmaster than getting all this work and acclaim and stuff. So that's all I'm here. This isn't a place for you to settle personal scores. I just don't like him. I love him. I think he's great. He's so good looking. He's young, Richard. That's what he's got over. He's not that young. He's a lot younger than you. You can't have a raddled old grey-haired man who can't even be bothered to shave or diet or exercise. You haven't even changed into nice clothes to do this. I don't need advice from you, thank you very much. I'm perfectly capable, and you're not mentally ill. Then I'm not mentally ill. I'm absolutely fine. People are worried about, but this is the sanest thing I've ever done. I'm winking at it, and also oh shit! Ow! Oh fuck! I really hurt my head then. Ow! Oh. Just careful, hold on to the toilet. I'm jigging me! All right, the proper news. If you may have seen, this is a history lesson for you guys. There was a guy in history that you won't have heard of because you're also young. He was called Adolf Christopher Patrick Herring. No, he was called Adolf Hitler. And there's been quite a lot of news stories about him. So we just thought, because people won't know who he is at home, the kids at home won't know who he is, we'd fill you in on a few of the recent news stories about Adolf Hitler. Did Adolf Hitler have sexual relations with Eva Braun? That is the question a lot of people are asking. Yeah, that's the recent article. I mean, I don't know. Is it any of our business? I don't know if it's our business, Richard. It turns out this DNA shows that Hitler had sort of something wrong with his genitals, so they might not work properly. Did he have Hitler and Richard Herring have only got 2 balls between them? Well, he hasn't got any now. Well, maybe, we'll get to that later. Maybe he has. Yeah, there's a DNA thing that might have meant it wasn't possible for him to have proper sexual relationships with people, and that might be sort of. It's a quite sad article, that really, because it's all about how pretty much everyone who went out with Hitler killed themselves. Even Eva Braun in the end, she tried a couple of times. So yeah, I mean, if you're going out with Hitler, Rich, that must be quite interesting, mustn't it? What's your boyfriend like? Oh, he doesn't do the washing up. He leaves his toilet seat up. What about yours? Oh yeah, he's trying to exterminate a race of people and take over the world. I suppose yours is worse, the hot toilet seat thing. But anyway, so that's quite interesting about I don't like being associated with him. There's a lot of one-balled men who have turned out to be quite bad, as I discuss in my book and my TV show. Nigel Farage is one. And that's the only way he's like Hitler, of course. And Lance Armstrong, there's many people. And so I don't want it to be, you would assume that the song about Hitler is made up. But then it does appear that he had some kind of genetic condition. So that's quite, we're learning, aren't we? We're laughing and learning, mainly learning in this and feeling slightly sick. Yeah, well, it's not a subject for comedy, of course, Adolf Hitler. That's the last thing anyone would ever, no one has ever been able to get laughs out of Hitler. Didn't you do a whole show of that? Yeah. This guy, this news story, this is quite a nice news story. This is a former Nazi captive who's 100 years old. There he is. He doesn't look 100, does he? He's looking good. Told how he was forced to dig Adolf Hitler's bunker. So it's interesting that there's still a connection to the past there. He's holding a picture of Charles and Camilla. I don't know what that says about him. Maybe he's just trying to distance himself from Hitler. He didn't want to build the bunker. He was a captive and they made him build the bunker. But that's kind of an interesting little clip to history. His name is Ches Black. He was taken by lorry to Germany. And anyone can fucking read the thing up there. Look, I'm trying to make, we're trying to show the people on TV. Maybe you can have someone who's a bit knowledgeable about stuff, who can read off an article he's just quickly downloaded off Apple News. No, someone who's, maybe a bit older, maybe a bit out of shape, but maybe has more to offer than you think. Also, TV's a medium for old people now, not for young people. As old as that guy, yeah, I mean, he would love, if he got to watch this show, he'd love it. We're bigging him up. He's a good guy. And, he dug Hitler's bunker, which might sound like a bad thing, but then Hitler died in that bunker. So we have to thank Ches for all his work. And I don't know why he's got a picture of Charles and Camilla there for that story. That's a question we'll never know the answer to, Rich. Let's see what the next one is. There's all sorts of things here. That might be the same one. Here's the next one. Oh, yeah. So this is another recent story from History Extra magazine. Did Hitler escape from his bunker and live in Argentina after World War II? The real history that debunks the conspiracy is in History extra. Did you think he escaped Argentina? I do not think he escaped Argentina. He quite clearly committed suicide in 1945. Well, you say that, but then again, this story's been doing the rounds for a little while. Oh, not that. That's Jim Carrey. He's not Hitler. Is he Hitler? Could be Hitler. This very similar picture, actually. That's why I got confused. This is a 128-year-old man at the time of the writing. He would now actually be 137. He's older than you. What? Adolf Hitler was born in 1889. If Adolf Hitler is still alive, he's 100 and he'll be getting to his 137th birthday this year. He's at least 136. Yes, he was born in April, and so he's 136 at the moment. You're just a mere 134-year-old. Yeah, that's true. I am very much younger than Hitler. So if Hitler's still alive, you're no longer the oldest being on Earth. Well, there's trees and stuff and crocodiles and fish and sharks that are older than me. But, you're a basic humanoid figure. I'm the oldest humanoid figure, I would say, alive on Earth. This is a guy called... let's bring up the thing. This is a few years ago. He was really claiming this. He may subsequently have passed on, but he's called Hermann Guntherberg, or is he? Because he's actually Adolf Hitler. He says his passport was a forgery produced by the Gestapo near the end of the war, and he's in fact former Nazi leader Adolf Hitler. Why is he admitting it now? Well, that's why. He said he'll stop hiding from Israeli secret services as they officially abandon their policy of pursuing former Nazi war criminals in 2019. Oh yeah, I'm sure that if Hitler turned up, they would. They'd say, oh, yeah, sorry, we abandoned that. Sorry, you're free to go, Adolf. I think if Hitler turned up, they might reverse that one, Rich. I think it would be... He claims he's paid his dues. I've been accused of many crimes, he says, that I never committed. Given this, I've had to hide from Jews all my life, so I've already received my punishment. I'm not sure about that, Adolf or Herman, whatever your name is. I just think it would be so annoying for Adolf Hitler to live to be by far the oldest human being that's on record that's ever lived. And you're not able to show off, you're not able to say anything, are you? Because go, yes, I'm older than that French lady, Jean Clement, or whoever it was. I've beaten her. I'm the oldest, because then you get straight to prison. So you have to keep quiet back and God, wish I could say how I was the oldest now. But anyway, yeah, I've been portrayed as a bad guy because we lost the war. The victor writes the histories, Hitler, that's true. I think it's not so much that, though, as all the stuff you did during the war. I think he disappeared. His wife doesn't believe. She's been married to him for 55 years. She says he simply suffers from dementia. It's quite a sad story, isn't it? Yeah, another mental illness, Richard. No, another. This is the first mental illness we've come across. Does he think he sits talking to a ventriloquist dummy in his house and does it? Well, not. I don't think so. He probably, if he's Hitler, he wouldn't need to do that. If he's not Hitler, he probably wouldn't have thought to have a ventriloquist dummy. Sometimes he would forget who I was and where he was. He would seem to be a trance and start talking about Jews and demons. Then he would return to normal, she said. Bit sad, isn't it? It's a sad story. But, we can't talk about Hitler. This is a guy, for younger viewers, he ruled Nazi Germany from 1933 to 1945. In his death, he tried to take over the world. He started World War II and did a lot of really bad stuff. He's not a good guy. I would be on the lookout for anyone like him who's in control of stuff. That's what I would just say. Certainly anyone who's got one testicle, watch out for. Anyone who just thinks they're brilliant and sort of picks on minorities, look out for that kind of guy, because it turns out to be quite a bad thing for the world. I think some people like him again. Some people are trying to say he's good again. I'm not one of those people. You did that whole show about him. I wasn't saying he was good. That was the whole point of it. Anyway, we've had a history lesson. That's good, Richard. Is that the news? That's the news. Is Ed Gamble, the worst person in human history, has got another TV job. He deserves it, Rich. He's so good. He's not good. Can he carry a suitcase across a stage and make people think there's bricks in it when there's balloons in it? He can't. Why is he on TV and I'm not? Can he talk to a ventriloquist dummy in his house for 4 times a week for 1,000 people? No, he can't. He hasn't got the imagination for that. He's the worst person in human history. Also, Adolf Hitler isn't that good either. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed this week's news rounds. We'll be back next week with more, I'm sure. Sorry we didn't do Wednesday. Sometimes I can't do it because I'm doing other stuff. I can do it, Richie. And we've seen you can do it on your own, but I don't like the fact it's better when it's just you. Anyway, we'll be back soon. I'm just going to do this with my papers, pretend to talk to you for a second. Why don't we just really talk? Because I don't think people will like it. And then it's time to go. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends. Don't tell your friends about this one. It wasn't very good. They can't all be gold, can they? They can't all be gold. It was a bit offensive, I think, some of the stuff in this. Well, I'm sorry, Hitler is offensive. So if we have to talk about it, there's going to be some offensive stuff.